Which are the hottest properties in the market? Where should you invest? And is this the right time to buy or invest? That's precisely what we'll be answering today on Property Hotline. Hello and welcome. I'm Kavita Krishnan. And today on the show with me is Ashwinder Raj Singh. Ashwinder is the CEO of Residential Services at JLL India. Ashwinder, thank you very much for joining us. And let's get started. We have Amrinder on the phone line. Okay, I think we'll go back to Amrinder in a bit, but let's start with Lopa Desai's question. Now, Lopa says that she's planning to invest up to 65 lakh rupees and she has seen some properties in Ulve, Taloja and Palava Central Park. Now, she wants to buy property for investment purpose only with the promise of good appreciation after 5 to 6 years. Which is the best option? Which will give me good appreciation and at the same time give me good rentals? What would you say, Ashwinder?
Well, from an investment perspective, Kavita, I think Ulve and Taloja will score more over Panvel. More so Ulve because, of the, opportunity which is there in terms of connectivity, metro connectivity, the new airport and the coastal road that is going to come. So in the next 5 to 6 years, the ability of this investment to grow should be much better. Taloja also, is coming up as a good investment destination surrounded by good commercial activity. However, both these places have a low rental yield opportunity at this point in time. And that is where Panvel scores higher because it is a far more established micro market. And there are some leading developers like Lodha which are present there and offer some good opportunity to invest. They might not appreciate as much as Ulve or Taloja, but the rental yield can go quite well, to the tune of even 3%.
Right. Ashwinder, in fact, Lopa had asked about Palava and not Panvel. But no worries over there. She got more than what she's asked
sorry,
for.
Sorry, I meant Yeah, so what I meant was, Lodha's large project in Palava, which has been doing pretty well for the last 3-4 years, and now there are people who have also started staying in that project. It's been getting good reviews. And that is why I said that Palava would be a good place to settle down because the social infrastructure has come up well and the rental yields are far better than Ulve and Taloja.
But how would the appreciation really compare? Because Ulve and Taloja, of course, are seeing major infrastructure development. There is an airport coming up. There's a Trans-Harbour link that is being made. So in the long run, say over a 5-year time horizon, because she is looking at investment over here, which will score, which will do better, Ulve, Taloja or Palava?
See, Ulve is what Palava was 5 years back. So, you don't have that kind of a social infrastructure there, but that is where the investment opportunity lies. This is when you should enter a market. And there are projects that are coming up. There are some developers which have started working on it. There is going to be a huge infrastructure development. As I said, the coastal road is coming up. Airport has been announced. The metro connectivity is going to be there. So, the prices are going to really lead this social infrastructure. However, if you look at a price in Palava, all of that has been discounted. And people have made decent returns in Palava over the last 4-5 years. So that's the reason Ulve from a capital appreciation point scores. But yes, can you live there? It's going to be a little difficult at this point in time. Can you live in Palava? Definitely yes. It is inhabited well. That's why the rental yields in Palava are going to be better than Ulve. But capital appreciation will be better in Ulve than Palava.
Right. So there you go. Capital appreciation is better in Ulve, but you'll get better rentals in Palava at this point in time. NM Sheikh says that he's looking for a residential flat, area 500 to 600 square feet on Mira Road in Mumbai. He wants to know what are the options available to him.
See, he has both options. In Mira Road, you can get a 2-bedroom in this specification. and you can also get a 1-bedroom in this specification. You know, a 2-bedroom, depending on the developer, can range between 65 lakhs to 90 lakhs. A 1-bedroom, depending on the developer, can range between 45 lakhs to 70 lakhs. So he has both options. He can decide what is the specification he's looking at. Is he looking at a grade A developer? If not, he should ensure that there are a lot of local developers in this area, so he should do his due diligence. He should know what he's getting into, have those local developers delivered some previous projects, what kind of a local credibility do they carry, are all the licenses in place, approvals in place, and basis that, if he's price sensitive, he can go with local developers, and if he's going to be doubly sure, quality of life, better amenities, better to go with grade A developers. He can decide on the specification, as I said.
Right, and of course we are showing you the proper prices for projects in Mira Road. Just to remind you, these are prices that are currently trending. This is the price at which property is currently being bought and sold in these particular projects. But staying with Mira Road, Ashwinder, is often seen as this poorer cousin of Virar. Though Mira Road started developing much earlier, much before Virar. But the fact is, it was also dogged by a lot of issues. One among them being approvals, and the other, of course, being poor construction quality. Has that really changed in Mira Road? Are you seeing a lot of grade A developers, like you just pointed out, actually moving to Mira Road now?
Not much, Kavita. These are high gestation issues. So in an infrastructure industry, in a real estate industry, if you go wrong, to correct it, the cycle takes much longer. And these are long gestation projects. So obviously there are these fundamental issues which this micro market faces, and that is why it trades at a discount compared to a market like Virar, which you just mentioned. So that's why I said most of the players are local players. It's more of an unorganized sector within the MMR.
Right, so most are local players. If you do find a grade A developer, do try and check out that project if it is within your budget. If not, and even if it is a grade A developer, do ensure that you do your due diligence, because this is a market that has been dogged by a lot of issues. We have Amrendra on the line from Hyderabad. Amrendra, what's your question and how can we help you?
Yeah, hi. So actually, I have booked a flat in a Bangalore-based project. The project name is Bharatiya City Niku Homes 2, and it's a 2 BHK plus 1 study home of 1257 square feet configuration. The total cost is coming around 74 lakhs, excluding the registration fee. I got to know about a recent newly launched project from Electronic City Phase 1 by GM Infinite Builders. The name of the project is Global Techies Town. So in that project, when I visited there, I found 1500 square feet full-size 3 BHK apartment. Cost is coming around 60 lakhs, excluding registration fees, approximately 60 lakhs. So I required a kind of guidance and help regarding comparison between these two projects and builder, and where would be a better future with family in these two projects. Where will I get a better appreciation, a better quality of life? These kind of suggestions I am looking for.
Right, Amrendra's question over there, he's booked a flat in Bharatiya City, but he's also found something which seems far more lucrative, far more attractive. What would you say, Ashwinder?
I think he's done the right thing. Bharatiya City is a great development. It is a unique development. There's a lot of focus that has been put on lifestyle. So, Amrinder's focus was also because he's going to stay there. So they have created a lot of, innovative, comfortable things for lifestyle. It is a society where your entire social infrastructure is going to be taken care of. The quality of construction is good. The measures taken are very standardized. It is one of better, properties that are coming up in that part of Bangalore. So nothing to worry. I also feel that the rental yields in this area, once the entire Bharatiya city is done up, are going to be great. You're going to see a lot of people buying this place for end use, which is again a good sign. So nothing to worry. He should not get fascinated just by pricing, because you have to look at what are the amenities, what are the security measures, how's the gated community designed, what is the ethos behind the entire designing that the developer has kept in mind. So overall, he should not worry and get fidgety about it. He should stick to Bharatiya city and move in when his apartment is ready.
Ashwinder, just a bit about why these two projects are so distinctly priced, and this we often see that in a particular area, two projects in the same area might have completely different costs. Now, one of course could be the fact that Bharatiya city has been in development for quite some time, and whereas this seems to be a far newer project. But if you could just take our our viewers through what exactly determines the cost of a project, and why is a project priced higher than one that is adjacent to it?
That's a very good question, and I think viewers will benefit from it. Number one, the cost of the project. Number one criteria is the cost of the land. Number two is cost of construction. What kind of construction that you're carrying on in that project? What is the quality of amenities you are giving them? What are the number of amenities you are doing? What is the time that is going to take in building that project? What is the size of the project? How much of investment is going into open spaces? Is the developer looking at creating sports, entertainment, school, hospitals, shopping arcades, etc., etc.? So all this adds up to the cost. Obviously, there is something called margin, but if I keep the margin, a little aside, because the difference in margin generally is not quite, significant. These are the 4-5 reasons which decide the cost of the project.
So essentially, it also boils down to what value the project is giving you, not just the home, but also the value that it is adding to that home that you're buying within the project. And that also largely determines the price at which you're buying into that project. Moving on, Francis says that he's presently living in Mumbai. He's just taken retirement from his profession and is planning to settle in Pune. Now, he needs a 2 BHK flat. His budget is 50 lakh rupees. He wants you, Ashwinder, to suggest good localities with all amenities. 50 lakh rupees, what can that buy you in Pune? Or where can it buy you a flat?
Yeah, so the micro markets that come to my mind are Bhugaon, Undri, and Hinjewadi. He's retiring, so if he wants to go to a more peaceful area, Bhugaon is a great place. It's getting developed. The landscape is great, and he will get various options within the budget that he's mentioning. Same is the case with Undri. These are the new places that are coming up, and a lot of retired people. A lot of people are also looking at it as their second homes, who stay within Pune or who stay in Mumbai. Hinjewadi, the social infrastructure, the overall infrastructure is better developed. So if he wants to stay in a micro market which is far more inhabited, hospitals are near, and other amenities that he would be looking at after retirement, then he can also look at Hinjewadi, and there are certain developers with good repute who would be offering him an apartment in this budget.
Right, and those are the prices of these markets up for you on the screen. Hinjewadi averaging around 5,786 rupees per square foot. We'll also have the prices of Undri and Bhugaon up for you in a bit. But staying with this market, Ashwinder, Pune, Undri over there, 4,827 rupees per square foot. Now, talking about Pune, it was traditionally a retiree market. Now it has become an IT city and is attracting a lot of young employed professionals as well. But one hears of a lot of senior citizen friendly and retirement projects that are coming up in Pune. Is that something he should probably be looking at?
Definitely he can. There are markets like Pune, markets like Dehradun, which are, focusing on senior living. There are certain projects that are coming up for senior living. They might not be ready to move in. They might be with coming up from developers who are doing these projects for the first time. So he has to be well aware of what is he getting into, and if senior living is something that he likes, or there are many people who want to get into it because they get companionship, they get friends. Senior living is also designed with a lot of amenities which are associated with, you'll have a hospital very nearby, concierge services are done carefully, keeping in mind, you get house help easily. It's a great idea, and there are certain projects that are coming up. It's completely on the personal choice of the buyer or the investor.
So there you go, Francis. Bhugaon, Undri and Hinjewadi are the markets that you should probably be looking at in Pune. And the other option that you can also consider are the senior living complexes that are coming up across Pune. That might just interest you because you told us that you are a retired person. We have Rajveer on the line from Chandigarh. Rajveer, what is your question? How can we help you?
Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
My question is that I'm getting a plot on the road Devanhalli, Vijaypur, in the outskirts of Bangalore.
Okay.
The price they have offered is 1,000 rupees per square foot. My purpose is only investment. I want to see what is the future of this location. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. What is the future of the Devanhalli location, and is this a good price, 1,000 rupees per square foot, especially if you're buying land?
And
the price comes second. Now, if the gentleman is staying...
Yes, Ashwinder, go on.
Yeah, so if the gentleman is staying away from Bangalore, and that too in Chandigarh, investing in a plot is a little risky because you really don't know about encroachments, etc., that can happen if you're not nearby. I generally suggest people to invest in plot if they are staying nearby and they have a way of supervising that investment. The pricing is fine, plus minus 10% doesn't matter, because if you're investing, you're looking at a period of 5 to 6 years. The micro market is also good. I still suggest people to look at apartments as an investment in areas that are coming up, where there's going to be future growth, where they see new infrastructure investments coming up, and then go ahead and take a call. However, if he's really interested in a plot, it is fine. If the plot is in a gated community, it is better. If it is not in a gated community, I would advise him to stay away from that.
Micro market like Devanahalli, would you advise an investor to go ahead and buy land, or would you rather advise them to buy an apartment?
See, this is a very personal choice, to be honest. There are a lot of people who want to invest in land, and the theory is the land prices go up faster than an apartment. So it is a very personal choice. The whole issue revolves around risk, because the most important category to be evaluated while investing is not just the return, but the risk that you are ready to take. So an apartment has a much lower risk compared to an investment in land, especially if you are staying away from that micro market.
Right. So Devanahalli is a micro market with promise. You should be able to see some decent appreciation over there. However, do consider what Ashwinder just pointed out. If you live in Chandigarh and if there's no way that you're going to be able to supervise that plot of land, then you're probably better off not buying it. Pramod Patankar says he wants to know what would be your advice about buying a flat in Lodha, Belmondo on the Mumbai-Pune Expressway. Should I hold it now, and if so, for how long, or should I sell it immediately at a loss? What would you say? Exit or hold?
So no exit at all unless and until there is a dire need of funds. The location is good, the developer is good. I feel in the next 2 to 3 years, the markets are going to turn around. There is a lot of, as it is, as we see in this show, there are a lot of investment queries coming up. People have started investing back in the real estate market. First time buyers are in, end users are in. Prices look like to be bottoming out. And if he's waited for some time, we don't know how long back did he invest in, but the micro market is good, the location is good. He should definitely wait for some time, let the markets improve, and then sell it. I don't think there is any reason to book immediate loss unless and until there is a requirement or there is a clear line of sight that the gentleman is going to sell it at a loss and invest it in an opportunity which is going to give him returns which also cover up this loss.
Right, so that's something that Pramod will have to get back to us on. But of course, if you were looking at your screen, we were showing you the proper prices for Lodha Belmondo. At this point in time, these are the trending prices, and hopefully these are far higher than what you bought at. Also, very quickly, Ashwinder, this is a market, the Mumbai-Pune Expressway, where the Lodha Belmondo is located. It is a market that is seeing a lot of supply. So how long should he ideally be holding it for? Is 2 to 3 years enough, or should he hold it for a little longer?
I think, 2 to 3 years should at least take him to a level where he is not booking losses. You can't predict how the pricing is going to move, but because it has had a slide, as you rightly said, there is a bottom that the market reaches. You can't time the market, but I'm sure that the loss that he's making today might get covered. And if he can keep it on for a longer period, obviously the probability of making profits also come up.
Right, so Pramod, don't get spooked by the fact that the markets may have slid down a bit. It will also turn around. And like Ashwinder pointed out, there are a lot of people who are looking to get back into the real estate market. Not a time for you to be exiting at this point by booking losses. Suman Nath says that he's living out of India and had booked a flat at a subjected location on view of future stay, as initially it was planned to be completed by 2018. But since 2 years, they are still struggling to get all approvals. He's talking about Naina over here. He's now worried about the project, and as when will it start, as the location is good for future prospects. He also says that the brand is a good one. He does not tell us which brand this is, but he wants to know whether he should withdraw the money and invest in a nearby location around Naina. And he also wants you to suggest any upcoming or better projects in Mumbai or Panvel. His budget is 80 lakh rupees. He's looking at a 2 BHK. Naina, of course, has run into some rough weather, but should he stay invested over there? Okay, so we seem to have some problem with the connection with Ashwinder, but essentially the situation on Naina right now, right, we got Ashwinder back. Ashwinder, we have a viewer over here who wants to know whether it makes sense to stay invested in Naina. He had invested over there and he was told the project would be complete by 2018, but of course, they've not yet got all approvals. He's now worried whether the project will even take off. He's wondering whether he should probably just exit from Naina at this point in time and invest in Panvel or thereabouts. His budget is around 80 lakh rupees for a 2 BHK. What would you say?
I would immediately ask him to exit from this investment if the approvals are not there. There is just no reason to be part of an investment where the approvals are not there, because we don't know what is the reason of the approval not being there and how long it is going to take for the approval. So the investment becomes illiquid. So there's no point of putting in more investments in a project where approval is an issue. Come out of the project. As I mentioned earlier, Panvel is a good micro market, and in this budget, he should easily get apartment in a budget that he's looking at. If he can increase his budget by another 20 lakhs and take it to 1 crore, there are good grade A developers that are there that can offer him good options, and he can decide and choose which one to go with.
So essentially exit Naina and invest in Panvel is what Ashwinder is advising you over there. Samir Kulathe has sent in a question on Twitter, and he says that he intends to invest 50 lakh rupees, preferably in New Delhi around Dwarka. Should he invest in housing or commercial? Kindly advise. And he also wanted to know what he should be looking at if he is investing in commercial.
See, 50 lakhs is a wee bit lower budget for investing in Delhi. He will have to stretch it to at least 100 lakhs if he is going, or if he's interested in buying a property from a grade A, renowned, credible developer. And my advice always is that please, do your due diligence and go with developers that have a good track record and reputation in the market. He will have an option to buy in and around Dwarka at 50 lakhs, but he will have to get into an unorganized sector. The moment you get into unorganized sector, you need to check whether the approvals are there, are the plans passed, what is it that the developer can make, what is it that you are getting, what is the quality of construction, because quality of construction is one of the areas where unorganized sector compromises, and in the longer run, it's not considered a great investment. What he can look at is there are certain sectors like 102, 108, 113 in Dwarka, which are away from Delhi, anything between 0 to 5 kilometers. He might get good developers there, and he can choose from, the options that he has from these developers and these sectors. That would be a better decision.
So there you go. Look at the sectors.
Dwarka Expressway.
Right. Look at the sectors that Ashwinder just called out along the Dwarka Expressway, which is averaging around 4,983 rupees per square foot at the moment. Of course, look for grade A developers, and since you are buying along Dwarka Expressway, ensure that you check for all approvals and whether there are the promised utility connections as well, because that is a big sore point in that particular area. Vijay next, he says that he's planning to buy a house in Pune. Can you suggest me an ideal location? His budget is 90 lakh rupees. He's looking at a 3 BHK flat. 90 lakh rupees in Pune. Where can buy your 3 BHK?
Pune is a lovely city. He can buy it anywhere he wants to. So that's quite a open-ended question. The budget is good, so he can look at Baner, Wakad, Balewadi. These are good areas in Pune. On the eastern corridor, he can look at Kharadi or Keshav Nagar. In the southern corridor, he can look at Undri and IBM. It depends which part of Pune he would like to stay. It is a good budget. These 3 micro markets are good micro markets, well planned, good social infrastructure. Pune is growing, so it has its own issues, but he will have to decide which part of Pune he wants to stay, and these are the 3 micro markets he can choose from.
Right. So laundry list
so
of
it is
micro
the western
markets
corridor, eastern corridor, and the southern corridor.
Right, a very comfortable budget. The whole of Pune is up for grabs for you. So those are the prices, of course, of all the locations that Ashwinder just called out. But with that, we do come to an end of this episode of Property Hotline. Ashwinder Singh, thank you very much for coming in and answering all those questions. And of course, any questions on real estate, do send them in to us, and we'll ensure that the country's biggest experts give you their answers. Thank you for watching.